Hey beautiful soul family, and welcome back to On Another Level. And as I was doing Miracles Beneath the Surface and Infinite Miracles Beneath the Surface, one of the things that I absolutely love to do is I love to do research. I am definitely a truth seeker, and it's about the truth is what makes us free, beautiful soul family. And as I look and I just reflect and I observe, take an analysis of the history of time, of how, we've had some time of being lied to, whether it's from our parents or friends, family, cousins, uncles, or whatever, people that we've come to love, especially within the school system. There are so many things that we've been lied to about. And not only that, but there has been some phenomenal things about life itself that has been held back from us. And well, we're in this Aquarius age, and in this Aquarius age, it means a lot of things. What was so interesting is that in another video, the Vice Spirit was showing me about, in this Aquarius age, Satan is of the air. And so as I was doing my research in reference to the topic that we're talking about, I really want to take a little bit of time and go over that really quick, because I view it as being very important. And in the Aquarius age, yes, it's about innovation. It's about, coming out of the box. It's about not being held back. And when I think about it, interesting enough, it's really leading to what I'm talking about today, what I have been inspired to talk about today. And so this is going to be both a reaction, it's going to be a mixture of things that the Divine Spirit was showing me, different things, different research, and I hope that you find some type of joy in watching this and learning. Maybe you know this stuff already, or maybe it's something that will encourage you to do some more research, because I am definitely, self-love, self-care, self-nurture is you investing in yourself. But what's so beautiful, soul family, is about coming to understand these different things and saying, wow, how interesting is it? How interesting is it to come out of the Piscean age and into the Aquarius age? As the Vice Spirit was showing me, it's like coming out of one area, which is this level of water, and busting through to another level of water. And as we've seen more and more, it's about going into space, going into the universe. But interesting enough, as you're going within, you're going into that you in I verse. Okay, rewriting and removing those programmings and removing the glass ceiling. Okay, and for me, I love it. Now, as I brought out in another video, the Vice Spirit was showing me that Satan is the ruler of the air. And I just could not find that scripture at that appointed time. But what's so interesting is here in Ephesians chapter 2. Now, I'm going to go back to the Ephesians chapter 2 as well, but it'll be later on. But let's go to this, right? So Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2 through, let's go through 4, okay? And it says, and you, 2, it says, wherein in the time past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. Verse 3 says, among whom also we all had our conversation in times past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. Verse 4. But God, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, hath quickened us together with Christ. By grace ye are saved, and has raised us up together, and made us sit together in the heavenly place in Christ Jesus. See? That in verse 7. That in the ages to come. So when I speak about the age, don't feel some type of way. It truly is. We came out of the age of the Piscean age, right? And we're in the Aquarius age. Okay? Here it says in verse 6, it said, and hath raised, it says in 7, that in the ages to come he might show that the exceeding riches of his grace is his kindness towards us through Christ Jesus. So it says verse 8, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. And you see, whenever someone has the power, oh, it was me, you know. But as you're going within and you're understanding about, wow, I need to disconnect from the world and go within. Oh, my goodness. So, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Oh, so I saw like this creative thing, and I always like to try to do creative things. And so I had my black sweater on that I love, and I did this where it's miracles beneath the surface, right? And as I opened my sweater, it was showing the universe, right? As I was doing my research, and it was talking about the stratosphere, it's the stratosphere that it was showing. And it's like, truly, when you understand it, it's like, you know, beautiful soul family, go according to your intuition, and you will bust past. It may seem like something that's not been done, or, you know, but divine spirit, when you go within, divine spirit is showing you all the things that the world holds back. You see, because here it says that, you know, the world takes away, but God gives. Okay? But God, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, even when we are dead in sins, hath quickened us together with Christ. Right? He hath raised us up together. You see, that's so beautiful, because the world, this is all about understanding the contrast, where Satan steals, kills, and destroys. God the Almighty doesn't do that. If anything, where the world divides and takes away, divide, where it's about you dying, really. Okay? It says in verse 6, and hath raised us up together, and made us sit together. Isn't that beautiful? Made us sit together in the heavenly places in Christ Jesus. You see, what's so interesting is that, as mentioned in the other video about the 11 minutes, we are coming to 11 is about self-mastery. We have the master numbers of 11, 22, and 33. There are people who try to get to heaven by their means necessary, but they don't want to go through the proper channels. And what's so interesting is that even with Yeshua, God Almighty used wisdom to go through the proper channels because of the ransom that is being paid. And really, this is about thinking. Let us think. You have to be awakened to think. You know, there's this point of where you're just waking up and you're rubbing your eyes and you're not truly coherent of what's going on. But when you're awakened, it's about understanding, seeing the clarity of the truth. It's in the Bible. There is absolutely nothing. And at this appointed time, we have people coming against the Bible. I mean, the Bible has gone through so many things. But beautiful soul family, when you go into your intuition and your intuition leads you, and Divine Spirit will tell you. Okay? And for me, this is phenomenal. Now that we've done that, okay? Let's talk about the stratosphere. So I've shown a little clip, and it's for fair use, okay? And it's about Auguste Piccard. Now, Auguste Piccard is a genius. But really, you know, the thing about it is that he's a scientist, a Switzerland scientist, and it was on, well, here I have written that it's 27th May 1931. Auguste Piccard and Paul Kipfer took off from Augsburg, Germany, and reached a record altitude of 15,781 meters. Substantial data on the upper atmosphere, as well as measure cosmic rays. Now, like I said, I love science. I love knowledge. But it's not only to have the knowledge, it's also about, and my camera is acting up, but it's not only about having the knowledge, it's also about utilizing it in your life so that you can have better clarity of what is. You see, what's so interesting is that in the Bible, it talks about the firmament. And so when we put our trust in Divine Spirit, we can't be surprised. When we put our trust in the world and the world lies to us, then we're like, oh, we were duped, but we're not duped. Okay, so, well, let's find out a little bit about Piccard. So we know that he was born in Switzerland, right? He was born in January 28th, 1884, and he died March 24th, 1962 of a heart attack, which is what is stated. He is a Swiss inventor and explorer known for his record-breaking helium-filled balloon flights. Okay, and what it's, I could read all of this information, but I'll tell you what Divine Spirit was showing me. Now, what's the reason of me doing this? The reason of me doing this is, one, I love to research, and two, I really don't like, my opinion, okay, for me, knowledge is precious, and I really don't like when something so groundbreaking and in so many different ways, right? But it is put in a liquor commercial. And, you know, truth be told, it's like, you know, as long as what I got from it is, as long as you're in a drunkard state, they can, it's so interesting, because in my videos from yesterday, it was like when your eyes, like when you, if you take the chip, if you take the upgrade, right, and you are living in your quote unquote beautiful world, right, you are distracted. And you are choosing how you wish to be distracted. It's no longer like, it's levels to it, okay? And so before, it's like this one big hoax, right? But it's chipping away. And so how to get more control over you is to put a chip in you, one, monitor your movements, which is actually taking place as we hold on to our phones and such. But it's getting it in you. And so it irritates me when they want us to stay in a drunken state. So we could be so caught up in labels that we are surpassing, like we're not even seeing how important it is to have knowledge, okay? Knowledge is power, and how to utilize that power just by you investing into self. Utilizing your energy to invest in yourself to fulfill your purpose is very important. And so my reaction to the video is, what I caught from it is that, wow, we're coming out of one age, the Piscean age, right? And we're breaking forward. It's like the koi fish, right? But you're breaking forward. You're moving past. Okay, you're busting through to the air, which leads you yet into the firmament. Okay, and here the stratosphere and the firmament is seen somewhat as the same thing. And was gathering different measurements and analysis on the stratosphere. And when I saw one in the commercial, it just seemed so interesting, because as we look into the universe and we see how different things are, and we can compare it to our inner universe, right? And so there are people out there that would state that is not true, but it is true, okay? And it talks about the universe in the Bible, brought out in Job, when in response to Job as he was praying, because Job was like, he's going through all of this, and Job was asking him, where are you when all these different things is taking place in the universe, even on the earth, even in the animal kingdom? Where are you? Okay, so but I don't like it when, like if you see the Divine Spirit is telling me Tiffany's. So when you see a Tiffany's box, right, and you open the box, it is small, right, but you open up the box and what is inside. It could be earrings, it could be a necklace, it could be a ring. Did you know that Tiffany's also sells beautiful perfume? Oh, but anyways, it smells really nice. But the thing about, and that box is beautiful as well. But the thing about it, beautiful soul family, is that when you look at something that has value, and it's like from Tiffany's, right, you take great care with it. The presentation is everything in most cases, right? And finding it in a commercial where it's about it's about a substance that keeps you in a drunkard state. It's need I say more. And so it's so important, beautiful soul family, to do that inner work. Okay? It's highly important. Okay? And so that's why I'm doing this video especially. Now I don't know anyone who has seen it, or because I showed it in the beginning, what you saw is fair use, okay? For educational purposes. And the thing about it, beautiful soul family, is that what I caught from it is that it's busting through the glass ceiling, busting through the lies, And there are certain people who have this truth and they work in cahoots to keep it hidden. But see, the thing about it is it really hidden when it's in the Bible? You know what I'm saying? And so what I caught from it, what different things that the Divine Spirit was showing me and I was able to pick up, was that, okay, here we have a father and son. What I saw is about legacy. What I saw is not just about the breaking through to the stratosphere. Is what's going on in the spiritual plane and the physical plane. It's about understanding the opposite ends of the spectrum. All right. So I was explaining this to my son, that here I am seeing, okay, as you look, it's like, whoa, that's so interesting, right? But what I was seeing was, wow, the Father was checking out the firmament, and the same metal that was used, right, with the hot balloon filled, it says helium filled balloon flights, okay, he was going to the firmament, the stratosphere. And as we're looking at that, it's like going through an eye. Now I know, creativity to a degree, but as I've mentioned, there are certain things that is within our body that is found in the universe. And it's just so beautiful, okay? What I saw was legacy means a lot. It's not something that should be overlooked by any means. And there are people who do overlook it, and they're not mature enough to see the importance of it. But for us who see the importance of legacy, we'll see that within this commercial, this advertisement. You see, because the Father had the pinky ring, right? And I was trying to figure out, okay, what's that ring look like? What's the ring? But what is so interesting is that passing on the baton. When I was, when I had my YouTube of Miracles Beneath the Surface, I did a video about passing along the baton to our future generations. What are we handing forward? And the Father, the Divine Spirit is just showing me so much right now. So the Father went to the firmament to get a further understanding, okay? And the Son was doing the same, but in the opposite spectrum. He was going into the depths of the sea. And it's still understanding. The Divine Spirit was saying we need to check out the water. Okay? And so it's about understanding water. It's about the Father was understanding an aspect of water that is in the stratosphere, firmament. And the Son was understanding the depths of the water beneath. And so the Father had the pinky ring, and the Son had the pinky ring as well. And for me, that is a carry-on of legacy. And the